Hi, in last class we wrote a simple Java program, hello world, and we printed on the console. So now we will go into some basic concepts of Java, so which we should know. So those basic concepts are objects, classes, interfaces, packages. You know, if you have earlier worked on uh, object oriented program, or if you are aware of those concepts, the object oriented program concepts, if you are aware, you probably know these concepts. But even if you don't know, that's fine. But these concepts are essential to know. So the objects, classes, and the concepts, these are essential to know actually. So we'll go into them. So let me share my screen. So I'm using this website dev.java website. It's a good website actually. So objects. First, what is an object? It's a bundle of state and behavior. So if you know, so this so what is software? Software is generally transforming our real life problems into computer programs, right? That's it, right? So మన సో ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనేది లైక్ ఇట్స్ ఎ రిప్రజెంటేటివ్ ఆఫ్ ఏ రియల్ లైఫ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లైక్ సో it has two components. One is state and behavior. So state means, like, you can say features or attributes of a particular real life object. Behavior means what that object does. Suppose if you take an example of a bicycle. What bicycle state of a bicycle would be like, it has some speed. So when you are running a bicycle, like, you have some attributes like speed and which gear you are in, ఏ gear లో వెళ్తున్నాం. So these things will be there. So, and also behavior means cycle in behavior actions, what we do when we're like when you talk about cycle, like speed up, increase the speed, or apply brakes, right? We may apply the brakes to slow down. So దాన్ని బ్రేక్ చేయడం. సో ఇది అదొక ఫంక్షనాలిటీ, అదొక బిహేవియర్. సో ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనేది ఏంటంటే ఇట్ విల్ హ్యావ్ స్టేట్ అండ్ ఆల్సో బిహేవియర్. సో in software kuda, when we are doing real life tasks in software, so we represent real life objects as a like, we transform them into, we represent them as a object. So it will have state and behavior. Like if you see this is like bicycle here, bicycle will have these attributes, right? Like it is going at 25 kilometers per hour, and its rotation is this much. This fifth, it is in fifth gear. So it is at that particular time state of the bicycle. ఆ టైంలో బైసికల్ యొక్క స్టేట్. సో యాక్షన్స్ పర్ఫామ్ చేసేది, అప్లయింగ్ బ్రేక్, చేంజ్ ద గేర్స్, ఇవన్నీ బిహేవియర్. సో together the state and this behavior, it constitutes an object. సో bicycle ని మనం ఇట్లా we can model bicycle as a software project. సో bicycle ని ఇట్లా, ఓకే, bicycle ని సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లాగా రిప్రజెంట్ చేయాలంటే, సో bicycle ని మనం ఇలా రిప్రజెంట్ చేయొచ్చు. సో సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఈజ్ ఆల్ అబౌట్ రిప్రజెంటేషన్, రైట్? సో కంప్యూటర్ సిస్టమ్స్ ఎట్లా చేస్తాం రియల్ లైఫ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ని, హౌ డు వీ కన్వర్ట్ ఇంటూ సాఫ్ట్వేర్. how do we solve real life problems in software world is this is the way. So this is one of the way. So object, this is the object orientation. So this is popular one because it has many uses. Real life objects things we represent them as objects because it has many uses. Like we will discuss those uses later. But so for now you uh, remember object as a bundle of state and behavior. It's a software component. Object is bundle of state and behavior. And if you see here, state of that object sits at the center, and this behavior or methods, they surround this state. So means they are encapsulating this state. So if at all I want to access this state from outside world, then I need to come through this behavior or methods. So means this behavior is protecting the state. Only this behavior means this methods has access to this state. So this brake, when I apply brake, what will happen? Speed will come down. So the here 25 is there. If I apply brake, it will become 24. If I change the gear, here fifth gear is there. I want to change it to fourth gear. So this fifth gear state comes down to fourth gear. So this behavior can operate on the state. So if I want to access this state, how I cannot directly access like this? I have to come through this behavior or methods. So this behavior is kind of providing protection to the state of that object. So this is an encapsulation concept. In OOPS, we call encapsulation concept. So this is called data encapsulation. So generally state is stored in fields. State is all about data actually. When we say data in software lo data antam kada, so state is all about data, and behavior is all about methods in one programming language or functions in some other programming language. So this is how a real life object is represented as a software object. So I took the example of దిస్ బైసికిల్ యొక్క ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకున్నాను. ఇందులో బైసికిల్ యొక్క ఆ పర్టికులర్ యొక్క స్టేట్ ఒక పర్టికులర్ టైంలో దాని యొక్క స్పీడ్ కానీ ఏ గేర్లో ఉంది కానీ ఇదంతా స్టేట్ కిందకి వస్తుంది. దాని మీద మనం చేసే ఆపరేషన్స్, సో బిహేవియర్ ఇదంతా లైక్ అదంతా ఫంక్షన్స్లోకి వస్తుంది అనమాట. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ వాట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. సో సింప్లీ సే object is bundle of state and behavior, right? If you similarly, one more example they have given, dogs have a state like dog name, dog color, dog breed, dog hungry, and what dog does: barking, morgadamu, fetching, wagging tail. సో ఇవన్నీ దాని యొక్క బిహేవియర్. సో జనరల్గా మన డాగ్ గురించి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ మన సాఫ్ట్వేర్ సిస్టమ్స్లో స్టోర్ చేయాలి అనుకుంటే what we will do? If we want to store information about dog, what we will do? So the information is nothing but state, name of the dog, breed of the dog. So idantha data kada. So the state represents the data, and behavior, like what it does, is nothing but functions or methods, you can say. In Java, this state we store in fields, and this behavior we call them as methods. So this is a Java object. Okay, so same here, as we discussed, it's about a bicycle object, right? So what benefits it gives is this object representation in any object oriented program is like this thing, like information hiding. So as we discussed, I told State is nothing but information or details, right, about a particular object. So it hides the information. Second thing is modularity. So you can write different objects independent of each other. So and each object can be used by others, or it can be passed easily around the system. So modularity. So better organization. సో అంతే కదా, లైక్ చాలా సింపుల్గా కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ సింపుల్గా ఆర్గనైజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు డిఫరెంట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ని. సో code reuse, as we discussed, we can reuse the objects. So that is about objects. So in Java, like every object communicates with other objects, like it's object to object communication in Java entirely. How they do is through these methods actually. So what methods do is they modify the state, or they access the state, and each method communicates, like each object communicates to other object via this methods. So this is how Java works actually. So objects are central to the Java. So next we discuss another concept, class. What is class? Class is a blueprint. To simply say, class is a blueprint, and from class we create objects. So for example, if you take class as a carbon copy, by using carbon copy you can, you can write many, duplicates, right? So class is a blueprint. Like for example, if you take the example of bicycles, so with there can be so many bicycles with manufactured in the same model, same year, right? So all those bicycles comes under the bigger group called bicycle, right? So that bicycle, that class of objects known as a bicycle. So it's a blueprint. So in Java, we generally write the class, that is blueprint. Then we take the copies of that class. Those that copies of the class we call objects. So here, if you see bicycle, so bicycle is a class actually, you know. So if I write class bicycle, it has some properties. So then it has some behavior like change cadence, change gear, speed up, apply brakes, and this. So this behavior it has, and it has attributes. So this is a class. It is a general class. So ఇదేంటంటే మనం then we create this a blueprint, original blueprint. దీని నుంచి మనం we make objects for it, objects out of it, right? We make objects out of it. So how do you make object? So here we have written bicycle, right? Then how do we do it? Like bicycle, by first bicycle equals to new bicycle. We use the keyword new. By using the keyword new, we create object for any class. So here we want to create objects for class bicycle. So we do like new bicycle. We want to create a second object, bike 1, bike, this is bike 2 equals to new bicycle. So then you can print like this. You can use these objects like this. So this is the concept. Like, so first we write a blueprint, then we print, we create objects. So let me write a quick program for it. So I have already bicycle class, so bicycle demo class. So here okay, so this is the bicycle class. Okay, so this is the class we wrote. మన క్లాస్ రాసుకున్నాము. సో ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు క్రియేట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్, ఇట్స్ a blueprint, then from this blueprint we can create many objects, and all those objects are of the type bicycle. Type bicycle means like they form, those group of objects are similar, and they are objects of this class bicycle, we say. Okay, so now I write like this. So if you want to execute any program, you need to have a main method first. I'll write main method. Inside that we'll create objects of the class bicycle. So we want to create object for the bicycle class, right? So I want to create a first object. Then how do I write it is bicycle one. I call it b1. I want to give a name to that object, b1 equals to new. No. So whenever we want, ఎప్పుడైనా మనము ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవాలంటే we have to create the object using the new keyword. If you use the new, then that means you are creating an object. New pickle C. So now I have created an object. Then once you create the object, then you can print the C. As we discussed earlier, I want to access this methods. I want to access the methods of b1. How do I do that? We have to do like this: b1 dot. See, we got all methods here. So once you create an object, then we can access its methods. So we have change gear. So I have change gear. Then I give some change gear to 4. So I can do this. So now if I can run now, it will print like this. See, it's like changing the gear. So now I call this method. So what change gear method actually is doing? Let's see. It gear equals to new value. It is updating gear value, right? Then we can print the gear, right? So how to print the gear? b1 dot change gear, then b1 dot print states. We have created a method print states right? So it will also print the gear. So if you see, before changing the gear, we'll print this print states. Before changing the gear, what will be it? So what is after changing the gear? See, before changing it, what is the gear value? 1. After that, we invoke this change gear method to 4, and we are again printing the state of that object. It is giving us 4. Means what is happening here? First of all, this print state says that we are accessing the state of the object through the method print states, right? Means we are not directly accessing the bicycle object state. దాని యొక్క ఆబ్జెక్ట్ యొక్క స్టేట్ ని డైరెక్ట్ గా యాక్సెస్ చేయట్లేదు. Through its methods only we are accessing, right? We are not directly calling the gear value, right? If you see in print states, we have property gear, But are we directly calling this gear from here? No, right? So how we are printing gear here? Then we are calling this method print states. Print state is the behavior, right? So we are calling this behavior, and this print states in turn printing the its gear property, right? So that is how from this class, from outside the object, how we are communicating through the behavior only. That's what we discussed earlier. So objects communicate to other objects via this behavior only, or the properties or state of the objects can be accessed only via the methods, right? That's what I want to convey actually. So now we created one object and we use that. Now you can create one more object also, like this. You can create any number of objects for the skill b1 equals to, earlier b1 we created, now I am creating object, second object b2. Now if I call it b2 dot print gear, where is it, b2 dot print states. Now tell me what is the gear value of this b2 object. It should be 1, not 4, because these two are different objects. B1 is different object and b2 is different object. We are changing the property of gear property of b1 to 4, and b2's property is not affected because these two are different projects. These two are different objects. So when we make changes on one object, they won't reflect on the other object. They are independent objects, though they belong to same class, but they are different objects. So now if I run this code, I want to save this. If I run this code, see here, this is a first gave b1 gave was 1, and after changing the gear to 4, it is printing 4, and whatever we printed here is of the b2 object, that is still gear 1. So this is how you create new objects from the class, which is the blueprint of the blueprint for the objects. So you can like this, you can create any number of objects from the class using the keyword new, and you can manipulate as you wish on the respective objects, and those changes are reflected only on that particular object, not on any other object. Okay, so this is about the class and objects. All this is not needed when you are going forward. You will learn all these things automatically, but for now you just need to know what is class, what is object, that's it. But this is just brief explanation of objects and classes. So we'll see one more thing. Now we done with classes and we done with objects, and now we are going into the inheritance concept. So what is inheritance in general terms? It's like inheriting means, in Telugu we call it varasatvam. So we inherit property from our parents, we inherit some traits from our parents and our past generation. So that's what. So in Java also, inheritance are not only in Java, in any other object oriented programming language, any other programming language, in via inheritance, one object can inherit proper some traits and features from other objects. If you take the example of Java, one object can inherit state and behavior from other objects. So how do we like this? If you want to inherit some behavior from other objects, how to do that? So we need to use the extends keyword. So while writing the class, if you use extends keyword and mentions the another class name, then it inherits the behavior from the superclass, right? So we'll see how. For example, you have a general group of bicycle, and bicycles can be various types, right? It can be mountain bike, it can be road bike, it can be tandem bike. So what is the difference between them? All these mountain bikes have same features as bicycle, some common features it will have, but each of them have their own specific features also, right? So mountain bike will have all the features of bicycle, and it also does all the functions of bicycle, but it will have its own features also, own features and own methods, own functionality also it can do. Like it can be run in like mountains, right? So it has some gears, right? Like bicycle will have some gears, speed, all the properties is there, and speed up, speed down, apply brakes. So all this also will be present in mountain bike, right? Similarly, road bike, it will have all the features of bicycle and it has its own. Similarly, tandem bike. So in this case, we put common class here, and each of these specific classes will inherit from the common class. Like this is the inheritance concept. So this is a hierarchy. So mountain bike inherits from bicycle, road bike inherits from bicycle, tandem bike inherits from bicycle. So all these have their own specific features, and but at the same time all of them have common traits. Traits are features, that is bicycle. So the syntax, how do we write it in Java? So suppose this mountain bike, class mountain bike extends this bicycle. If you write this, automatically whatever is present in this bicycle, like it's a state, it's fields, behavior, like methods, everything will come automatically in mountain bike. You don't need to write separately, automatically they'll come, even though you don't see them, but you can actually use them, right? So mountain bike వచ్చేసి ఆల్ ఫీచర్స్ ఆఫ్ బైసికల్ ఇందులో అవైలబుల్ అవుతాయి అన్నమాట. సో దిస్ ద వే యూ రైట్ ఇన్హెరెన్స్. So I'll explain by an example. So here we have bicycle class ఉంది కదా మన దగ్గర. సో bicycle class లో these many properties ఇవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి కదా. సో నేను ఇక్కడ మౌంటైన్ బైక్ అనే క్లాస్ రాశాను. సో ఇక్కడ ఏంది, మౌంటైన్ బైక్ ఎక్స్టెన్స్ బైసికల్ అని రాశాను. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇక్కడ యాక్చువల్గా నేను ఏమి ఓపెన్గా ఐ డెంట్ రైట్ ఎనీ like state or methods of this bicycle, right? But I can access all of the properties of bicycle here. So how do I do that? So first of all, public static, sorry. So ఇక్కడ నేనేం చేస్తాను, ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ మౌంటైన్ బైక్ స్పెసిఫిక్ మెథడ్ ఒకటి రాసుకుంటాను. పబ్లిక్ వాయిడ్ ప్రింట్ అని ఒక మెథడ్ రాసుకుంటాను మౌంటైన్ బైక్ లో. వాట్ ఇట్ డస్ ఇస్, it prints I'm a mountain bike. సో ఇక్కడ చూస్తే we have this mountain bike has only one method, but as I said, this, even though they are not visible, it will all, this mountain bike will have all the methods and properties of the bicycle. So let's see how. So now I create an one class here. A class name వచ్చేసి నేను mountain bike demo అని ఇస్తా. mountain sorry inheritance demo, we call it inheritance demo. సో యా, ఇక్కడ నేను పబ్లిక్ స్టాటిక్ void main thing రాశాను అని చేశాను. సో ఇక్కడ నేను ఐ నీడ్ టు క్రియేట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఆఫ్ మౌంటైన్ బైక్ because our goal is to access inherited properties, right? Mountain bike equals to mountain bike. See, mountain bike, ఇప్పుడు మౌంటైన్ బైక్ అనే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ నేను క్రియేట్ చేశాను. ఇక్కడ మౌంటైన్ బైక్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లో నేను ఏమేమి ఉన్నాయి నాకు ఇక్కడ చూడు. సి, in mountain bike I created only one method, print, right? But if you see here, you are getting the properties, this cadence, gear and speed. Any properties, these are properties of what? Bicycle properties. You are getting all. Also you are getting methods of the bicycle also. Apply brake, like change cadence, change gear. So all this method also you're getting. So it's inheriting all its properties. So I can print them. See, I can I have print methods also, right? Print states. So I do this. So this print states is the method of this bicycle. If you see print states is the method of my bicycles, right? But we are seeing that method in the mountain bike object. Why? Because mountain bike is inheriting bicycle class. So that's how inheritance works. So at the same time, it can also have its own methods. You know what the own method we created here for in mountain bike? We created print, right? I can print that also. See, I have got this. So now if I print, what will happen? It should print the bicycle method as well as the method of the mountain bike. If I run it, see, I'm a mountain bike is printed and the methods behavior of the bicycle also printed. So this is how inheritance works, right? So it is accessing the properties of the bicycle, behavior of the bicycle, and also it is having its own specific behavior. That is, I'm a mountain bike. So this is how inheritance works. Now we will see interface. Interface is like contract actually. So see, interfaces generally you don't see you don't need to know the how the implementation is. You just need to specify the contract or like specification, and whoever class that implements it, they need to implement. Like if you see on your TV, you see TV panel, you'll see so many like buttons, right? But from your side, that is only a button. If you click on the switch on the button, it will turn on. But on other side, there will be a lot of wiring and that functionality is implemented. So honestly speaking, as a user, you need not know how other side is. You just need to see the simple button and you need to click on it. So here interface is like a button. So you just need to know what function it does. Like, it on the TV or remote, right? So background implementation functionality, that way is not your job. So interface concept is this. So you just define change gear. So whoever implements this bicycle interface, they'll have to write the change gear method. So if you see this, change gear is just incomplete method. It's just a declaration. It's just a specification. Nothing how it changes the gear, you don't need to worry about. So you see the change gear here in bicycle method. See, change gear. See, it has implementation, right? It is assigning new value to the gear, right? So this is the implementation. But if you see, this is in class, we implement it, right? But in interface, you don't need to worry about the implementation. You just need to know, like, this change gear method is there. When I supply some value to it, it will, whoever implements that interface, they do the functionality. I don't need to do much about it, right? It is a kind of encapsulation. So we have this interface concept. We learn about it deeply when we are learning the language Java programming deeply. So that's interface concept. What is package? So in Java, like package, we group related classes and functionality, like these packages, like, so it's like APIs, right? We discussed APIs. So we have a lot of related functionality already implemented and tested. We group them and we place them in a packages. So packages, like in your system, it's like folders. Like I have some D folder. Like, see here, I have Java examples I created. So in this folder, I have neatly organized files, um, like this packages, for organizing your classes and files, so that in big applications, right, in bigger applications, so when you're writing a lot of class code and a lot of classes and files, what you do is, like, you create packages and then put all the relevant classes and interfaces in that packages you create, so that it will be easily maintainable and if you have some any uh, like better organized. So that's what package concept is all about. So package concept, in this package concepts, like, we also have big libraries also, like Java also gives some out of the box functionality, right? So uh, all that this out of the box, like out of the box means like ready-made functionality. Java gives so much ready-made functionality which we can just reuse. So it clubs into relevant packages and it will gives us. So that is all about packaging concept. So packaging is mainly for organizing related classes and interfaces. So that's all you need to know about this package at this point of time. So that's it. Just to summarize, in this class we discussed basic concepts of Java programming, that is objects and classes and interfaces and also packages. So we also discuss some few programs explaining those concepts. So these are at some brief level. You need to have this much understanding to go and learn the language in detail. So that we will see in subsequent classes. So for now, I'm ending this class. Thanks.